And welcome back to the Jazzcast, another very special one about the Euros, and obviously with Thistle involved. Certainly 3 out of the 4 of us are, one in particular is very hungover this morning after the England game last night, and what a tremendous performance from every single player in the park. But I think as Thistle fans, we're all delighted for Stephen O'Donnell last night. He was absolutely outstanding, and also another Scotland player who's come in for a lot of sort of verbal abuse, Grant Hanley, who head and shoulders, best defender on the park last night. Nothing each, it's only a draw, but given the fact that I think everybody was expecting 5, 6, and that's what all the pundits were talking about, it's great to really stick it right up them. As you can see, gone by Donners and Alan Fraser, number 7, and our special guest, Stuart Bannigan, Banzo. Brilliant to have you back. Enjoy the game last night.
I loved it. It was just you could tell it would have been some atmosphere to be there. Everybody watching it in their houses. It was amazing, and just to see obviously it was a good result for us last night. Gutted not to get the win, but the performance, unbelievable for the boys. We controlled the game. Thought we looked better than them all over the park. Had the better chances and were excellent. And touching on Sod, I thought he was absolutely unbelievable last night. I seen on Twitter on Monday, he was getting a lot of abuse, a lot of stick. And he come back for that and put in the performance that he done. He could have easily been, man of the match last night, at Wembley. And the biggest game of his career, to go and do that is, pretty special. So buzzing for him, and a good result for the boys, and hopefully they can get over the line and Tuesday, I think, and get a result and get us through.
I think you're absolutely bang on. And he got a nice wee kick at Grealish at the end to get his yellow card.
That, by the way,
that was a good foul. That was a good yellow card.
I was saying to my mates, Grealish is trying to take a piss here. Somebody hit him and sawed right up the back of it. So brilliant.
Did you not think though, like some of the over criticism just came from Rangers fans who just wanted Patterson in the side? They just want their own players. I think we said it last week, David. I didn't understand it. Forget the boys' talent. He'd only played 6 senior games for Rangers. How can you throw them into a cauldron like that? You could wreck their career, let alone anything else. But to me, that seemed like the big problem. That's
the one that annoyed me. Not annoyed me a wee bit, but you're just looking at it. I think people don't really get a clue what they're talking about. The Patterson one, and to be fair, I thought I wasn't sure if he was going to put Gilmore in just because he was young and he hadn't played a lot of games. Him and Patterson, I think there was a photo going about him with the Champions League, Patterson with the Scottish Premier League. Hardly played, you know what I mean? So it's not exactly as if they were big parts of it. Gilmore, proved me wrong 100%. He was outstanding last night, but I'm not sure. Putting Patterson in would have been much better than Sod last night. It would have been pretty hard to get a better performance than that.
I thought it was fantastic last night, and I really like that Steve Clarke came out at the end of the game and actually talked about the criticism that people do get on social media and all the rest of it. I mean, you can sit on your phone or at your computer shouting and spouting, but they're aware of it. The players are aware of it.
Of course they are.
You see it yourself, man.
Of course they are. He'll know he wasn't great on Monday night. He'll know that. But didn't go out purposely to have a bad game. And you're playing at the top level. You're listening. This isn't just a domestic game where you want to be playing well. This is a top tournament with top players. Where every mistake will get punished. But it's the reaction of his poor performance on Monday when he was outstanding and the biggest of stages in the biggest of stadiums against the best of players. So I'm pretty sure he'll always remember that night.
Well, what do you think? Like, see, knowing him the way you do, right? What kind of vote of confidence Steve Clarke putting him back in, and standing by him in the interviews beforehand and putting him back, what do you think that does to a boy?
Well, I know for myself, not that sort of level, of course, but when a manager does put you back in when you're not sure if you're going to play at the weekend, it gives you that drive and that determination to prove him right and try and make sure that he's done the right thing. And I know for a fact Sod was unsure whether he was going to play on Friday night after the Monday game. After speaking to him, and he wasn't sure. He wasn't sure because they've got quality there. The boy Patterson is a cracking player, and he could have changed that up, maybe put one of the wingers as wing backs and went for that. But he wasn't sure he was going to play, so he put that performance in again just shows the mental toughness he's got.
All right, mate, what's happening?
Oh my days, man! What are you doing? Oh my God! Yeah, there's a guy that's had about 30 beers last night. Certainty.
I'm in the stage now where they crack another beer open or get a bottle of
Are you in London, Stevie?
No, I wish I was.
Sleeping in a park.
We're talking last night. We're talking about Sod and how what a game he had last night. What was your thoughts in the game?
I thought he'd done really well. I think it was good to see him do well, especially because he did come in for a lot of criticism.
Stevie, I was saying to the boys there, how nervous would Sod have been, man?
I didn't even say anything after the game on Monday. I never said anything to him.
I did. I spoke to him. I just gave him a text. I never said anything about the game. I just said, well done playing the Euros and that, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to say anything. He obviously knows he wasn't great on Monday.
Aye.
But he wasn't sure if he was going to be playing on Friday. But he come up with that performance, man. Brilliant.
Listen, that's Stevie Clark. He was always playing.
Aye. That's his biological father, man.
Aye, that was never in doubt. But I tell you what, like, he'll tell you that himself. He's fortunate, right, the position he's in, that there's not a lot of choice. But he's not. I've not seen him been like, he wasn't great against Czech Republic, right? But he's never ever looked out of place. Like, it was brilliant last night. See the things like people don't see. Like, see his distribution with the ball just opens up the game so much.
He was finding great balls into striker's feet and all that. He was unbelievable.
Very good.
Never gave a ball away once.
But he would have been a bag of Jaggies before the game.
Oh my God, man.
I take it you boys think you educated him well then in the distribution and back in the early days, aye?
Listen, I always gave him a pass. Stevie was hiding all the time, man.
No comeback, Mr. Lawless.
What did he say?
Well, it was really nice to you.
All right. Nah, listen, I've taught Sod well, right? He's eventually got to be able to find me. That's why he keeps passing the ball forward, because there's never an option inside.
I forgot you two are playing together again. Absolutely shocking, man.
Not really, mate. I've played one game right wing, so I can back up the road. I'm a cam now.
I sent him mid now.
Box to box.
Well, listen, there was great performances all over. We've got Croatia on Tuesday night, and I thought that last week against England, I thought they kept the ball, but there was no cutting edge. My fear has been, even before the championships, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago when we were talking, was not taking our chances. Monday was a prime example. We had chances. Okay, their keeper had 2 or 3 great saves, the Czech boy. But again, last night, we had chances and we're not putting them away. And I have to say, after about an hour of the game last night, I thought Dykes, as much as he worked, I thought last night was that last half hour would have been a chance for Kevin Nisbet because he's got pace, he's got power, maybe just to freshen things up and maybe stretch him. And I wonder if there's maybe an argument for him starting on Tuesday night.
Well, I'm not sure. Steve will know better than me, but Dykes was, I thought he won every header last night.
Brilliant.
Every ball came up to him, and if he didn't win it, he was putting him off. I don't know, Stevie, you'll be able to tell better than me, but he's a nuisance, man. I thought he was excellent, wasn't he?
He gets to a stage in every game where his legs go because of the amount of work he puts in. He's an absolute grafter, but he blows up. He'd even done that at Livy. He got to like 70, 75 minutes and he'd blow up. But there's an argument for if you take him off, and you got to get up the park. Because like you say, like, well, I know Kev's a great player, right? But is he going to offer that side of the game that Dykes was offering, getting Adams out of the game and get out of the park? Because Big Mings is a machine.
Yeah.
So, it was his defensive work at corners as well. Dykes, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Even
I thought with half an hour ago he was tiring, but every corner he was defending as well, so he was useful at both ends,
See for me, his little kick into the ribs at Luke Shaw after about 20 seconds. I quite enjoyed that.
That's 100% meant.
Yeah,
I text him on it was yesterday, just saying good luck on that, and I says if we're 2-3-0 down, you know what to do. He was like, bodies. And he's took it right away, 12 seconds in, have a bit of that, and it sets the full tone.
Aye, definitely. Because you can tell the way they set it up, man. He floated a ball out. It wasn't like a, you know what I mean? Gave him time to get there.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
He's nasty. He's got that about him.
Aye.
What about the creations then, boys? I mean, as I say, again, yesterday was the same. They don't really have much of a... I expected more out of Croatia, to be honest with you. And that's, I really thought they'd take something off England. I thought they would win yesterday, and that was at the start of the tournament. They're going to keep possession, which means we're going to be doing a lot of chasing. But is that a case of we need to take our chances Tuesday night? And, you know, we'll still need to defend as well, obviously, but they're maybe not as frightening as perhaps we first perceived.
No, I don't think so. I watched the game before the Scotland game last night. I watched the game against Czech. The two of them weren't any great shakes. I don't think. Czech Republic were probably the better side in the game in the first half. So certainly nothing to fear. And I don't know about they obviously have their spells of possession, but we showed last night we can keep the ball against the best of them. Get good players in the middle of the park. The back three works pretty well with keeping the ball. So no, I don't see why we should be chasing the ball all the time.
I agree with that. I think if we control the game like we did last night, but also make chances at home at Hampden as well, obviously no a crowd, but we've got a great chance. I mean, 100%. We're very excited about last night, and it was a great performance. We still haven't got a goal yet, but you know, what a chance!
Yep.
You
I'm
know?
the same as Banzo. I think, like, see that team we put out last night. I don't think that team should be trying to defend. Like that team, that's the back. I thought Hanley was brilliant last night as well.
Yeah.
But like Tierney and McTominay, that's ball players. Like, and then Croatia have got Modric and that, but Billy Gilmore's basically Scotland's Modric now. Like the guys are absolute shambles. Like, so you can't get into games with players like that and know that fancy our chances. Even though we've no scored, like if we play even a wee bit like we played against England, then I fancy us to get a result. And that's maybe me just being blinded, because I actually thought we'd get a result against Czech Republic, but we never turned up really. But even at that, like the performance level for that game to the England game wasn't anywhere near it, but we still had chances against Czech Republic, and we just need one.
We did. We did. We could easily have, got a goal, and we could have scored before at 1-0 down. It's a different game, but then there's that crazy 50-yard goal after that.
Saying that, they had a load of chances as well. I mean,
I know. It was quite an open game, like that first one, you know.
And interesting here, Steve. You mentioned Modric, Stevie. Is it just our system? But he seems to be picking the ball up almost by centre halves. He seems to be, like a sweeper for this, but he seems to be really deep. When you think about him for Madrid and he's kind of key, he was a lot further forward when he was impacting the play.
I think that just comes to who he's playing with. I think he's playing with his country rather than playing with Tony Kroos. Like Tony Kroos can do that and he can get up a wee bit higher, whereas he needs to do a lot more that he does for Real Madrid with Croatia. Obviously Kovacic's here, but again, like it's better players running about him. Don't get me wrong, Modric is usually he's not like normally what he has been, but he's still a massive threat. And even when he picks the balls up that deep, that's what they're wanting. They're wanting him getting the ball, and even if it is there, like he'll just dictate the full game. But the way we set up with kind of begin push more forward last night was good to see. And I think he'll be good in that position, closing down Modric, and hopefully he keep his heat, because I had a bit of feel last night for him.
To be fair to Modric, he's no Banzo, is he?
He's nowhere near me.
Nah, he has heat map. Doesn't he just go to the left and pass the ball a couple of yards and get it back? Modric goes to the right sometimes, I know.
Yeah, Stevie, tell them that you say idea all the time. Tell them.
He picks the ball up deep, right? I'll be on, nobody near me. He'll drive. No need to drive, he can just pass me the ball. He'll drive 50 yards, so he's like 2 yards away from me. By the time he's done that, the fullback's right up my arse. Pass me the ball, so that all I can do is pass him it back, and it looks like he's in a worldie. I swear to God, any highlights you watch, any game you watch, he'd do it like 5 or 6 times in a game, and it looks like I've no moved. It looks like he's dictating the full game, but he's using me as a fucking wall.
Banzo's like a delivery man, isn't he? He can't just like chuck it to you. He's got to come and bring it to you.
Aye. He knows what he's doing. Look, Banzo's been a great game, isn't he? Lawless needs to get his finger out.
Listen, did you watch Billy Gilmore last night? He lend the ball 2 yards and get it back, Stevie. That's what it's all about.
Aye, he did it. He runs forward with it. No sideways. He's not a crab.
Is that
By the way, Stevie, he's had a great season, Banzo.
Is that like Banzo? You always take the Player of the Year awards off you?
Yeah, obviously involved in the game there.
He still not gave me the awards for the season we get promoted. Ridiculous.
So basically, right, after talking about Dykes and Modric, like Dykes is going to play as like a defensive number 9. He's just going to sit on Modric when he picks the ball up deep and boot him.
But to be fair, the two strikers, man, with the two strikers up there, they can get wee nibbles into them. You know what I mean? If he's trying to get it for deep and dictate the play for there. So, but the midfield are not strong enough to deal with him. I think. McGinn's got incredible strength and a bit of pace about him. So any sort of wee balls that get played into Modric that aren't quite perfect, hopefully we can nick them and maybe score a wee goal for them.
I was worried last night when McGinn picked up the early booking because I thought, Chris, this is going to nullify him, and I thought probably for the rest of the first half it did. He was having to be so capable and frightened to make a tackle. It
looked like he was limping a wee bit as well. I thought because he was booked and he was struggling a wee bit, so I thought he's definitely going to come off. But no, he hung in the game well.
Yeah,
he definitely gets second wind, didn't he? But he's just got to keep his mouth shut. That's a silly booking. You know what I mean? Pointless.
International referees they don't take that. You know what I mean? So you just need to keep your mouth shut.
What about another one of your ex-teammates? I know he was only one of your teammates for about 5 minutes, Jack Henry, because obviously he had a bit of a roller coaster over the last few weeks, didn't he? What was your thoughts on him?
I thought there was a lot of criticism of Marshall, but I think just from a playing point of view, I think a lot of the goals down to him, to be fair. He looked great, don't get me wrong, other than that, but just that naivety to drive in, leave the space, and it's a really poor decision to shoot for there, and the ball just ricochets into his space that he leaves. But listen, he's done really well to get in the squad, done well to get a place, and I thought he didn't look out of place until that maybe lack of experience, maybe where he'd a pass out wide rather than shooting for crazy position. It kind of leaves him open.
100%. He's involved in it, 100%. The other two centre backs, man, why are they not coming over? Unbelievable.
As soon as he steps
in, they should be right over that other side. And listen, it's a free goal, but you end up dissecting it all because the guy ends up scoring.
Exactly.
And 99 times out of 100, when he hits that shot, it ricochets somewhere else and nothing really gets said. But it was a poor decision for him, just an easy pass it wide. But he probably saw the headlights and tried to have a pop.
He'd had the bar earlier, you know what I mean? But it was further out, and there was options. He had players in front of him, you know. But I mean, as you say, you dissect it because of what happened. You know, if the ball had broke and the guy had messed it up, but it's a wonder goal through there.
Don't get me wrong, some of the memes and pictures of David Marshall and that have been tremendous. Did you see the one? It's like the rugby and he's pulling the guy's shorts down. It's amazing. Other one, did you see the one? See the one he flies? See the guy that flew in the parachute? Put David Marshall in the parachute. Amazing.
You get those in minutes as well.
It's crazy.
Goals being replayed, and you look at your phone and see all these things already.
It's like hero in it. It's like
I know. People that make that stuff's unbelievable.
Listen, how come we've never seen either of you score for 50 yards? Because it looks that easy.
Because I can't get it on until Banzo's 2 yards away from me.
Stevie can't reach. That's why.
You're talking about rugby there. That was a bit of a stravash at the end. That was like a big.
Oh my God!
Amazing for McTominay.
How he managed to keep his hands out of the way?
That's just sheer commitment. That was brilliant for him. And see, for somebody he's in there as a ball playing defender, but that's just great aggression for him to get into that position and not letting him score. Because
I wasn't sure, by the way, what the foul. What was the foul for? I never really saw a foul.
I never saw a foul either. I think the referee.
I thought he held down David Marshall, did he not? I thought he kind of held him down, pretending him to get back to his feet again.
Right. I kind of thought the ref
they get fouls for nothing these days, don't they?
I thought the ref just went, that's a mess, I'm just going to blow my whistle here.
Aye, big time. Although what was Stuart Armstrong doing? I'm sure he thought he was going to dribble it out again. But he was
looking for Harry Kane.
David, how many times have they got to show that Gaza goal?
Oh no,
my God, man.
I was actually going to just touch very briefly on the TV coverage this week. I mean, that's been nothing short of embarrassing. I mean, it was that what was it the other night? It was Wednesday night or Thursday night. I counted 16 times in the first 20 minutes they showed that Gascoigne goal.
It was a shambles.
20 minutes.
I know that was it the last time we played them in the Euros, right? But we had a qualifier there that was a competitive match, and the last time we beat them, never once showed that.
No,
never showed Don Hutchison's goal.
That's what I mean. They never showed it. Ridiculous.
what are you watching on, Raymond? What channel are you watching on?
I can watch it. If I'm in the house, I'll watch it in ITV. I've got a mag box that's got every channel in the world, and if we're out, it generally is being sports over here. So, because there's a slight delay if you're in a bar, there's a slight 30-second delay. So they use being sports because that's immediate. So last night it was Richard Keys. Oh, in fact, no, actually we watched it on ITV last night. It was Monday, it was in being sports. So over here it's like Andy Gray, Richard Keys. It
was actually STV that did it here rather than the main ITV channel. So it was a bit less biased.
I think it was ITV that had on in the pub last night, but it was ITV England. So it was, who was it called? Alan. Well, McCoist was on.
Aye, Alan, that was a schoolboy error because you could have shifted to the ITV as far up in the box, because instead of having Kevin Gallagher, you got Alan McCoist. Instead of Davy Moyes, you had Ian Wright and Roy Keane and Graham Souness. They were brilliant. Last night,
I made that mistake. I was on STV. I was gutted when I found out it was on ITV, but
I think I'll maybe watch it again today then, on the ITV coverage.
Souness was putting it about right in, so was Keane. It was funny.
It was good. It was good to see him get put in a place. I've seen a lot of videos. Was it Rio Ferdinand before the game? You couldn't see it other than an England win. So it's good good to see. I don't see why they're so confident. Like, their team's good, but I've never been impressed with their play. Like, see, like even with France, like Italy impressed me the most. Like, I think they're solid. I think they're a really good team. Whereas these teams have got good players, but they're not really. They don't really make an impression on a game.
They don't play. They don't play. They don't play well and they don't create enough.
Nah,
they're pretty boring to watch. England.
You see with France as well. I know I've only seen them once, right? But like, they get like battered after Germany, and it was just like counter-attack. And I think like a team that's clinical could cause them a lot of problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hope not have money on them.
It's funny saying that, Steve, because see them at times the ball just wasn't sticking up top. It was just bouncing back. But honestly, see with that Mbappe's pace, he's frightening. Maybe he was good then. See, can I ask you something, right? Harry Kane, anyway, who would pay 100 million for him now after those last two games? I mean, he's a potential bust, isn't he?
See, I was talking to my brother about this. I think he's a cert to go in our English team. Like, I can't see him leaving England. I think like your teams in England are all guaranteed to want him just because he's record in England. I think you're guaranteeing yourself goals. But like your Real Madrids and Barcelona, I don't know if they'd I think they'll probably go for Haaland and stuff like that over him, to be honest.
I wonder if he's that's playing in his mind, because the way he's playing, he's been pretty poor the first two games. I wonder if he's not sure where his future's going to lie in that, if it's maybe affecting him a wee bit. But I can get a move, no bother. Absolute guaranteed 30 a season. So I don't think he'll be struggling.
I don't know if it's like maybe home player bias, but I don't think that's their strongest team. Like, I don't know why Sancho's not playing. Like, he's I know he's playing in Germany, right? But like, he's see for a guy under 21, I think it's like he's got the most assists and goals, like by far, and he's not even getting a sniff.
Do you think Jordan Henderson should be in midfield there? I mean the World Cup, you were getting them pelters a few years ago, weren't you?
I don't think, to be fair, I think that's been the least. I don't think they need to be playing two sitting midfielders against Scotland.
By the way, can somebody tell me what Declan Rice does, please?
So I mean, Calvin Phillips is much better.
I'm trying to watch it.
I think it maybe he does Phil Foden's hair.
Honestly,
I've seen it. So I think that's maybe what's costing them now. Like, I think they can easily get rid of Rice fair there, because Calvin Phillips has been good enough, to be honest.
Yeah,
Getting an extra creative player in. Why do you need two sitting midfielders against Scotland at Wembley?
Aye.
Like and then the first game as well. Like I think it's just a waste of a man, to be honest. I think Grealish.
I was very surprised. Grealish didn't start last night. I have to say, I thought they would play Grealish for the start last night, and I thought Sancho would certainly, at worst, come on off the bench if things weren't working. It did seem a very kind of safe lineup that Southgate's played the last couple of games, and like you say, they're not actually that great to watch. Kane, I think he's probably had a lot of foot. You guys will know better than us, but it looks as though he's just played too much football over the last year or two, and it's maybe just starting to get us caught up at the wrong time. Plus, as Banzo says, the transfer speculation, and maybe it's just come at the wrong time for him.
But see, if you look at England, look at their run the World Cup, and that was an embarrassment. It was penalties, it was free kicks. Harry Kane, what they score most of his goals for set pieces. Do you know what I mean? It's I think like you look at the results and they look better than what they are. You know what I mean? See if you listen, like Kieran Souness last night, they were saying two sitting midfielders. They say Scotland have just got three football players in midfield. You know, they get forward, they get back, they defend, they pass the ball. That's what you need. Do you know what I mean? And you don't need sitting midfielders.
Aye, should have said that, didn't he? Was it at half time? He says England need Billy Gilmore.
Aye, that's right.
Like,
I'll definitely go back and watch that, Donald. It's definitely looks like want to go back over that coverage and pick all that up again. You know, that I didn't see.
So let's talk about young Stuart. It's testimonial years. Here we go. This is what the fans have wanted. My God, it's hard to believe it is the 10 years, you know, since you broke through. It's been a roller coaster at times, both, you know, physically and mentally. You know, you broke in, you know, part of that championship winning squad, all the highs of the Premiership, your injury, and then having to get back to that. Is it flown in?
Flown in. Can't believe it. That's what you say. It's just crazy. Think back, looking all the times, and you know the great times we had at the start of my career, and then you know you go through a wee lull of 2 or 3 years where it wasn't looking great. Then I fought my way back to playing again, but unfortunately at that time we were only a great team, and you know slipping down the leagues, and you know it was looking pretty poor. But you know, I feel that the good times are coming back again. I really hope that I can, you know, help the team get back up to the Premiership. That would be superb. You know, as you said, the roller coaster, getting up to the Premiership at the start, all the way down to League One, and hopefully getting all the way back up again would be special. But it's been amazing. You know, I've loved most of it, and you know, it's 100% flown in.
Is the feel-good factors there within the squad as well now? Because you know we're back in the Championship, and
I think
you know,
we're a bit we're buzzing because you know we're only looking great all season. All the way up to about March or April, we were struggling, and to go on that run the way we did, you know, win all the games, and we ended up nicking the league was amazing. And you know, you saw the real togetherness of the players and all the fans and staff. You know, it was a wee shame that they couldn't be there that night and witness it, but you know, I think you can sort of feel it. You know, with everybody. Hopefully we can do something special this year and have a go.
The end of the season was magnificent. It really was that last 4 or 5 weeks or whatever, you know. I mean, I always thought we'd get top 4, but it wasn't looking as if we were really going to chance of winning it. Okay, Falkirk collapsed a bit, but
no,
the games we had towards the end of the season, we were blowing teams away.
Falkirk, let's that week.
And Banzo, see that free kick against Falkirk? Where's that been all these years? I mean, we've seen free kicks and a spittle and everything. I mean, and then you pull that in. What was that about?
Yeah,
was that close?
I couldn't believe how far the keeper stood over our side. By the way, I couldn't believe it. All I had to do was dink over him. Unbelievable. But that'll get me on the free kicks for the next couple of years, hopefully.
Stevie, looking for the outside, I believe somebody stole your pass for that. Was it the Falkirk game? Is there not an ex-player?
Aye, embarrassing by the way. Doolan and bloody JC scored one goal for Thistle and I can't even get a bloody pass. I'm having to get in my... Oh, it doesn't matter. I went out in my pocket and gave back to the club. But JC and Doolan, shambles.
With JC's credit card?
I've never got that off of him, man. Never seen a guy in my life.
What did you make at the end of Thistle season, Stevie, from an outsider point of view?
Just what you said, that it didn't look like it was going to be possible. I think they were missing something at the start of the season. I don't want to drum him up right because he's big enough, but Tiff was obviously massive. Great sign. I think he maybe just lacked that wee bit of like pace to the team that he brought in and gave him a bit of a different dynamic. And don't get me wrong, he was in brilliant form and getting the chances, obviously for the boys, and he put them away. And that played a crucial part. I think I don't know if it would have been the same season if they never got him in, because they did maybe look in games. I've seen a few like, maybe just lacking a wee bit of pace through the team, and just things like that can maybe go your way. I don't know if actually he was I think was Deckno supposed to be coming back at one point? Deck McDead.
He'd signed. He'd signed it.
So
no.
You don't really know what would have happened, but it was a stroke of genius getting him in, and he's obviously hit
obviously playing with Tiff, Stevie. I find him strange at times. You'll go through spells where you're thinking he's having a nightmare here, absolute nightmare, and then he'll always create something or do something. So he's one of the players that you want in your team because you know he's 9 times out of 10 in a game he's going to create something or that will lead to a goal. You know what I mean?
He's one of the players that no similar to Squiddy, but like he's one of the players that
I know what you mean.
He can have a terrible game, but sometimes his terrible game can go in his favour. Like he'll take a terrible touch, but he's that sharp and quick enough to get it, and it'll maybe open things up for him. But no, he'll be the first to admit it when he's having a nightmare. He is having a nightmare.
Oh my God, man! I told him a few times, man, take your brother off the park and put you on. You're on a nightmare.
I actually made you text me. I think maybe his third or fourth game in, he started off flying, scored a couple of goals and got a couple of assists. And I made you text me about one of the games and like, oh my God, Scott Tiffany. I knew it was coming. Like he was due on, but like he's a great sign again.
He always says, he takes it well, to be fair to him. I always say to him, Tiff, come on, mate. And he always just look at me and give me a wee stare. But no, he's a funny boy, isn't he? And he's done brilliant for us.
He's not got giant shin guards like Squiddy, has he? No.
Maybe he has. I think Squiddy got an ass pair of them. They ran out of fabric. They couldn't make any more of them. I text Tiff like after one of the games, right, and it was like I think he get like it come up on Sky Sports saying he get like a goal and maybe one assist, and I text him saying a goal and assist again, mate. And he's like, just the one. It was like he was claiming like an OG, and I was like, mate, you're not getting it. It was actually on the website saying it was an OG, and he's like, no, I'm getting an assist for that. It was a shot, and like he
pretty embarrassing clutching at straws like that, innit? You know what I mean?
Aye.
Pathetic.
Well, you would know. You've claimed a couple of shady assists there your time.
Listen, he's peace. I nearly get you a move to Holland, mate, first year of the Premiership.
Aye, that's what cost me my move to Holland. You nicking all my fucking player of years.
Mate, I gave you 2 goals first game of the season. I can't do any more for you.
You're not claiming an assist for the first team. There's a shady assist there.
What?
I put you 1-on-1. You were too slow to run away from the guy, so you hit a shady shot right at the keeper that fell to my foot.
So are we going to talk about the second one then, or are we just going to leave that? The one I'm clean through and I go, you know what? I'm going to help my mate out. And slide it across, give him a double. And by the way, you didn't even celebrate with me. Pathetic.
Because I've done you the favour there, because you were 1-on-1 again. Your ass has got to go. I mind the year we were flying, the Bayface in the Prem, and looking like the Bayface Warowski, and like probably it might have been the Scotland squad, but if Buffy wasn't in the paper, then the press after it.
By the way, I remember that game. It was St Johnstone away, mate. St Johnstone away. We beat them 2-1. You scored a worldie, pretty sure. And Aye, after the game, we get in and Buffy came on the bus and he was like, ah, boys, I think I've put you in it. I was like, what are you talking? We went, I'm speaking to the press and I think I've said a few things about you. So I was like, all right. See it the next day. And it was like the McDonald's brothers. Oh, Stevie Lawless and Stuart Bannigan days, eat McDonald's. Absolutely killed us for a good move, man. Unbelievable.
That was a hit. It was actually massive. McDonald's brothers, that was a full page.
That's why we never got a move.
It was something a bit like the energy levels the two of them had out there. I don't know how they do it. All they do is eat McDonald's. I don't even like McDonald's.
I thought I was going to ask, is there any truth in it?
No,
there's some truth in mine, but no Stevie's.
Right.
There's some truth to it. I know I like a takeaway, right? But he's just clutching at straws, throwing us under the bus.
In fact, see the McDonald brothers made it famous in one of the reality TV shows as singers, not wedding singers or something. Maybe there's a future gig for you later on then.
Certainly not for me.
No, Stevie can't sing.
I've got one song up in my locker and that's it. Banzo plays a bit of a chanter.
I am no bad. No bad.
He's emptied the horseshoe a couple of times.
So your testimonials season 10 Banzo.
Yes.
To get back to that, you know, it's a good idea that we've deferred it for a year, obviously, so that you can, you know, put it back and get fans in and stuff like that. So
it'll be a good year. You know what I mean?
And Freddie Franz is looking for an invite.
Like Freddie, by the way, so is Gary Fraser. Speaking to Gary Fraser the other day, he's wanting a game. So, no, it's good for him. I know. I don't know if you saw the wee thing for him, the GoFundMe page for his operation. So, I was speaking to him the other day, and he's buzzing with that. And hopefully, we get him back and get playing because he's one of life's good guys. You know what I mean? He deserves it, and he's been through a hell of a lot. So, hopefully, he can come and see the fans in that as well and have a good day.
I was going to say we should post a link to that thing for Gary Fraser if we can on the Jags cast.
Aye.
I was going to say, what was he like stripping off in front of live TV cameras for the Sky?
Oh my God! By the way,
hilarious, wasn't it?
And it's not as if he was ripped. His body was like mine. Shocking, absolutely shocking.
You know what? See for your game for the testimonial, you will need to get like a Lawless select or something because there's no way you can play the same team because you're probably just going to try and outdo each other with assists and it'll be 0-0.
Yeah, Donald, I've already told you this one, and Stevie knows. And if he says otherwise, he's a liar. We trained all the time, and I used to abuse Stevie every day. By the way, I swear to God, Stevie.
You're full of shite, mate.
I couldn't believe it.
I have to say, I do remember coming to training when I started in the programme and that, and just the Perrys, and it was constant. It was absolutely constant. The two years, you stayed in the park, and it was 2 years at each other.
Aye, we'd always beat each other, but we'd always beat other people. No, by the way, we could get under JC's skin, couldn't we, Stevie?
Aye, so some boys like see that full atmosphere, like one mistake and we were own people, and some boys just could not handle it. Like JC, probably one of the worst. Like both feet, technically unbelievable, but shooting drills or anything, as soon as he hit a shot, oh my God, what was that? And he would go like everything was shanked. Every single, and then that's what we tell that story. Like we played Ackies and they hadn't scored in the Prem yet, and I put one on the plate for him, obviously. And he's ran away celebrating. He's done. The boy's gone and done it. That's how much we were in his head. He's got a tap in for 5 yards out and he's shouting, "The boy's only gone and done it."
Did they think he was just thinking that? Did they not realise he was saying it out loud?
Oh, he denies it.
He denies it, but I tell you what, it happened 100%.
100% happened.
Was that one thing? Was just the character of some of those players and the banter that that you guys played with, all together, that carried that squad so far.
You can't sort of force that. You know what I mean? I think you've either got that or you don't. and we had it 100%. You know, with such a good group of boys, and we see it all the time. We still speak to most of them. But you had that wee feeling. You know, when a lot of the boys came in, we just clicked together. You saw that on the park and off the park. So it was a special few years.
So is that the inside track why we ended up losing the last minute goal against Accies? It was 3 each that day, wasn't it? Or was it 2 each?
By the way, I remember
because you were all slagging JC and you were all laughing that much we lost that last minute goal.
All Conrad had today was head of the ball. Clear, we'd have won it.
Right. Was that the day Fox and everybody's gloves on?
There's a few of them.
Of course, Stevie, you're at Motherwell and Fox is there. Is there still a bit of a wind up with him at times? You know, when you've put goals past him and stuff.
Every day of the week, like he's not been training obviously because he was out for a while with a bad injury, but he's come back and like his very first day back, right? I've been buzzing for him to get back, right? Because there's no better keeper to wind up better than Foxy. Like he bites constantly. Like his first day back in training, right? He was training with like the boys that hadn't played, but like we'd just finished. So I was like, we were standing around the side of the pitch, right? And I just went and stood beside his goal. They were playing shooting things, and I was like, "Wow, I was just like saying things in his ear, like, "Wow, you are rusty." He's like, "Get away!" He's like, he's "Get away from me!" He like turning around, right, and not seeing what's happening in the game. And I was like, "Wow, you've no trained in a while, have you?" And he's like, "Stevie, get away from me!" And 2 seconds later, he gave away a penalty. Right, and I done, oh my God, he's fit. And I swear to God, see if the guy was got to hit the penalty, he would have chased me. Like, it was amazing. I had to sit next to him at lunch and all after it, and he was like, I was so close to punching you. Brilliant.
Because you can get under the skin more than most.
Easy, like he tries so hard. See we're doing shooting drills, like balls will be getting in like left, right, and centre, right. And as soon as it gets to me, you can just see him switch. He dives about. Honestly, he like because anytime I put the ball, I've said that I got it to him this year. I was like, if I put the ball past him, I says, "What are you waving at?" And he goes, "He hates it." He's good. He's a good guy. Good to wind up.
Did you guys used to wind up Higginbottom when he was angry, or did you just wind him up so he get angry, and then walk away from him?
You didn't really need to do much to get him angry.
No, me and Higgy used to fight every day in training. Honestly, it was amazing. What a guy! But he was some player that first year as well. But he was he wasn't hard to set off anyway. And you just watch him and he would go mad.
What is it you used to call? Was it your egg? Used to call everybody an egg, didn't he? Like,
that mad Lancashire accent, man.
That my favourite memory of him isn't even him that done it, but he's involved in it with Aero shushing him at Hearts.
Oh.
Amazing. And it's just because Higgy's gone off his nut.
Mate, remember that.
That was tremendous. But he's just signing on to deal with Kelty.
Aero. We're playing them next week. Kelty, next Saturday. I think it's next Saturday. Through Kelty, I think.
Aye,
good side.
The Joe Cardle testimonial. Aye.
I know. Aye.
Joe's hanging on for that.
Fuck, I know.
What about pre-season, guys? Stevie, were you? I know Banzo was back on Tuesday. Were you the same? Yeah.
No, I'm back on Monday. This Monday coming, so dreading that obviously. Always first day's usually the same. You do testing and that, but I'm never good at the testing. Let's see, like the yo-yo and that. Like I'm usually, I do all right, but I'm never good. It's just nerves. But then once the running comes, I'm fine. But like testing, did you take your test? I don't think Graham Alexander likes a yo-yo, so usually does like a 5-minute run, and he just judges it off how far you go, basically. So it's just a sprint, 5 minutes. One at A-band.
I was telling the boys there, how many pre-seasons have I done, Stevie, do you think?
You've definitely missed more pre-seasons than you've done. 100%. He texted me the other day, right? And he like just hundreds of laughing faces. He's like, just thinking about what you always say to me. He's like, I've got a tight calf. I was like, oh, cash on. Back one day, he's got a tight calf.
I swear to God, mate. Missed the first week of training. Unbelievable.
Wait, was it the first game in the Prem? Dundee United? You hadn't done any pre-season?
I swear to God, mate. I tell that story at the time. I hadn't done one bit of pre-season. I'd done my ankle twice. Somebody tackled me twice. Came back at that first game, and that's when I nicked the young player of the month off you.
Embarrassing again. How's that happen?
Anyway, that is true. I did not deserve that one. I don't know. I think they got me and you mixed up, mate. Honestly.
I don't know how, because I was fit as they come. You were blowing out your arse against Dundee United.
I how I lasted that full 90, I'll never know.
You get crunched as well, wasn't it?
Aye.
Halfway butcher.
Stevie,
Aye.
how was the pre-season? Your first, remember it's English pre-season you had last year. Any different to what it is up here?
It was a wee bit strange just because of the situation. Like we weren't allowed to do like any contact for the first couple of weeks, but so it was basically even your passing drills were massive and stuff like that. So it was a wee bit different. It's just some of the boys are like a shambles. Like I say, like my first day doing it, I didn't do that great on the test, like the yo-yo. But then so they split us into groups for the runs, and I was like in the second group. Or the like Ryan Edwards and that on the front group, first group.
Mm-hmm.
Groups of like 7 or 8, I think it was. But like as soon as we get put into the run groups, like my times were beating, like I wasn't beating Ryan Edwards' times because he was a shambles, but I was close to him. So like I was actually in that group basically, but there's like boys that take it. Do you know what I was actually surprised with? The amount of boys down there that drink, like at that level. Like I didn't expect it. You've got boys who are completely teetotal, but you've got boys who are mad for it. Like you can tell.
I think that will be the difference, won't it? It'll just be a fitness thing, won't it? Because I think a lot of them are super fit in there, and that'll probably just be the difference. I don't think they're much better players. Maybe just better athletes, maybe.
Now I said that. See, like my Livingston team the year before, they had a beat Button, my Button team. They just never had the guy. We just never really had a defence, to be honest. But like Banzo said, the first thing they look for down there is athletes, doesn't it? Like, so I think if you put the majority of teams at that level against teams up here, I think majority of teams up here will be better players, but they'll be better athletes down there. And I would fancy most Scottish teams to do well.
Remember we played Rotherham and Wigan and that. Even games, I mean, I think we drew both of them.
Yeah.
So there's no much difference between these teams to Scottish Premiership teams anyway. I don't think. But again, it gets talked up as if it's miles better.
Yeah.
I was thinking back. I mind you played a cup tie against Villa, didn't you? And Grealish was in the park.
Sorry, say that again. 2 seconds. I'm going to tell you. I'll be back now.
I don't know if do you mind that game? I think he played against Villa. I remember.
It was a Carabao Cup, wasn't it? I think I'm pretty sure.
That's right. And I
think an absolute challenge.
Get on.
My sorry, what you saying? Was you talking about Grealish here?
I told him you played him in the cup.
He's just. I said that to Sod. He's the best thing to do against him is no dive in. Like that's what he's wanting. He's so sharp, like scary. He's actually rapid. But like,
is he?
Like air 5 yards, 5-10 yards, but he's just waiting for you to commit. So as soon as you commit, that's why he gets so many fouls. He just waits leaves the ball there so you think you're getting it. You dangle a leg in, he's away. So the best thing to do is just let him have the ball. Don't let him run past you, which is obviously not easy to do, but I get my arse in a couple of times and he couldn't handle it. And then he went out to the park and set up the winner. So she's pure his ball.
See, you mentioned Ryan Edwards. Is he still the same? You just sort of wind him up 5 minutes before the game and then just let him run out the park and just let him do his thing until the game?
Basically, that's another thing, didn't it? Like, see, because like we're talking about athletes here, I'm not like quicker than that. So like, see when we were doing there, like me and him had switched positions. I was playing centre mid, he was playing right wing, and just basically because he would run in behind.
Aye.
So I
In other words,
just,
back Stevie, aye.
what?
In other words, he track back.
Oh, listen, I'm a defensive winger. You can't go to play with Livy if you're not a defensive winger. Basically, James Milner out there.
Stevie used to do all Buffy's work for him.
That's why I say that to Buffy all the time. Like, he's the reason my numbers weren't great a couple of years because I was playing left wing because I had to cover for him.
Well, you had to scrap left wing back.
Oh, don't get him started on that, man. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. You think he's a good defender? It's pathetic.
I've invented the winger back role. That killed me. I played like 9 games or something left wing back and then went to Livy and played a full season. And I was basically was a winger back role because Martindale just told me to go into like the ball was in the left wing and I was playing right wing back and he would tell me to be in the hole.
No.
Like it was a strange position. I didn't mind it to be honest, but not for me. Too much defending.
Aye.
Yeah.
What about your hopes this season, Stevie, for Motherwell?
Hopefully better than last season. Personally, I need to have a better year. Looking forward to getting a full pre-season because I got kind of hindered last year with 2 niggles at terrible times. One down at Burton's before the very first game, and then one right after my first game against Rangers. I got a niggle on my knee that time. But we need to sign some players.
That's not like you, but no, Stevie. That's not like you. You're usually no touch with
that's it's just terrible. Like I never really pick up knocks. I'm usually training constantly. Just like 2 muscle injuries. Like I've done my hamstring, and I don't know how because I was jogging. Tweaked my hamstring doing it Burton right before my first competitive game, but my first game, like friendly against Coventry, and then just sitting in training, my knee up at Motherwell. I know it was just 2 terrible things. So I don't think you can avoid them. To be honest, I think you've got to get something like that. It's going to happen, but I'll just hopefully get a good run at it this year and put in a good season. But like I say, we need to sign some players. We've not got many. A lot of people have left, and numbers are quite down. So I'm looking forward to seeing who we bring in. Say to Banzo. We put the boy Connor Shields in, and I sent Banzo my 5K time into like we're in a fantasy draft. I sent it into that, and he was coming from me saying I'm always fit. But like I done it in like 1935 right for a 5K. That Connor Shields done it in 18 minutes. Like I don't get it. Like it's like that's scary.
I take it you've not got Joe Carter on that group because he was just on it, wasn't he? He's doing it in about 8 minutes.
What was he doing in fact?
Joe was 16 something, absolutely ridiculous, mate.
Impossible.
Impossible, no chance, man.
Is that a case? You do get guys who are just naturally fit. It just doesn't matter, what they do. And Ryan Edwards, for example, I always remember him when I was up at training and stuff like that. He would come off and he hadn't broke a sweat. Yeah, some of the boys were coming off and going, thank God that's over.
Aye. So he's had plenty of years chasing his touch, so that's probably done him good. Who have you got lined up for your testimonial, Banzo? Do you know?
No idea, mate. I've said to the boys earlier. I don't think it will all get sorted till probably turn of the year or something like that, and then you'll start to sing it. But I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting.
Who would you like?
I don't know. I just like to see all the boys in that again through the years of who I've played with in that, because there was a few that missed it. Missed duels. I mean, Welsh in that. Gary Fraser, boys like that. So it'll be good to have them Higgy as well. Aye, aye. It'd be good to have all the boys back and maybe have a day like that, but we'll wait and see.
Banzo, you know what you could do? We could get that England under 21 team back.
Oh,
you could get a revenge match.
Well, you looked at Sword last night and he was unbelievable. Look at me that game and I was absolutely pathetic. No, they were unbelievable that day, weren't they? To be honest, we were out of our depth though in terms of. I think first of all you need a solid defence to keep the score down a wee bit or keep it respectable. And we just didn't have that night, and that was definitely an eye opener for me.
Do you think without the injury, by your own admittance, you would have left Thistle at the end of that before the Hearts injury?
Yeah.
Do you ever think it could have been me in that squad? You know,
I don't know.
especially.
I don't know. I don't think I was that great, to be honest. Honestly, I don't. I was all right. You know, I could compete against most people. I was never brilliant. But I think I would have went down and probably down the road, and you know, you never know where your career would have went. But no, I don't look at it like that. These things happen in your career, and people get different bits of luck at different times, and you know, it didn't happen for me at that moment. But you know, these things happen. You get on it.
The reason
I think he did have every chance. I think, if I'm being honest, I think if he went down there and kicked on, he would have probably been in with a shout. Because let's be honest, nobody would have seen Sodburn in the squad. I always thought he was a good player. I would always have him like probably the best right back I've played with. But if I'm being honest, did I ever think like, he would get to the level he's at playing with Scotland and looking that well? Probably not. So like, who knows? Like at that stage, Banzo was going down there and like he was sought after. He did have other moves, like, but so he could have been down there and kicked on. It would have been in me.
I mean, you don't know. You know, you don't know. Some go down there and they'll straight back up the road and it's no work. Some go down, do well and kick on. You don't know. You don't know, but it's all ifs and buts. You try not to look at that because you'll drive yourself insane.
Yeah.
You think about stuff like that, so you just need to focus on the now.
Stevie, now's your chance. We've got about 5 minutes. Give us some Banzo stories.
All right. I didn't know this was coming, to be honest. I just need to get my phone out. I've got loads of notes in here. Nah, kidding on. I've not actually. I've got good ones, but like they're mere for testimonial. Like I'm got to save them up and give them pelters. But I've got ones we used to go and play snooker, right? It was embarrassing, right? So we used to go and play snooker, me and him, and we took Buffy and Welshie one time, and all right, but they were pathetic. Done a Glasgow Edinburgh derby kite game, and went and played snooker, and I seen him like Jim Duffy was in Banzo's. Mum will go to the table right beside him. Try to suck up to Jim Duffy. Jim Duffy was doing the divisions at the time. But he's like that. Barry Mackay and that were in, he's right at their table trying to talk to him. Kyle Hutton. Embarrassing. He's a great guy. I'm looking forward to his testimonial just to give him a bit, but I'll save him. I've got
Banzo, you've got the right to reply with Stevie.
I tell this one all the time. Stevie, when he came into the club, I genuinely thought he was a young boy. I didn't know who he was. I honestly didn't know who he was. And you know, I welcomed him in with open arms, and he always says that he was a catalyst for us winning the league and blah blah blah. But if it wasn't for me welcoming him, then you know he would be nowhere. So he's got me to thank for that.
See, when you actually look at it, right? He was like the under-19s captain when I came in, like captain of the reserves the year before. And you can all you need to do is look at the there in writing. Got to play Motherwell and getting beat 8-2 off of Man.
Yeah, I swear.
Like I came in.
What? Stevie, we used to play you every 2 weeks, man. You would absolutely pump us every single time.
Aye.
Hilarious.
See, I didn't know we didn't know each other, right? But I can remember playing them at Motherwell, right? And Scully was in goals and he took a volley for Ross Forbes right off the face for like 5 yards. And I can remember thinking, he's dead. The ball actually landed. Scully's got a massive feet. The ball landed at half the line. It was like a clearance. And I can remember thinking, he's not getting up. And like I turned around and Scully was like, no, he's like just nothing. He's ridiculously good, to be fair. Took it right, a volley right off the face for Ross Forbes, and I was thinking, this guy's mental. I can't believe he's breathing here. Like I swear to you, I came off the pitch thinking, who is he? He just conceded like six as well, and like he came off a big red face with a ball print on it. I was like, that is crazy.
He could have started something, you know how years ago you check all those face masks. Like he could have the ball sponsored tattoo.
He didn't need one of them. He's got the hardest seed I've ever seen.
Well, listen, guys, we know there's the rest of you got the rest of the day to enjoy. Banzo, watch that tight calf. Don't walk too far. Make sure you're driving.
I will do. I'm timing it just right for the timing it right for the season starting back.
You know what helps him? He has this wee period off, right? Lets all the boys run. He gets right tight with the physio. And that's what helps him for the rest of the season, because he'll go and see the physio and like then he took 2 years with Martian. And what helps him is the physio leaves and he can start it all over again. So I had my tight calf, he's back in, and they take the lists with him. So like, see if they all put the list together, like he's probably done one pre-season. He's been there 10 years. I've done more running at Thistle.
He's no boot. It's no about pre-season, mate. It's about when the season starts. You know that.
Aye, he's known as a runner, like a midfield engine man, like running side to side, and he doesn't do any running.
Banzo, you were not expecting this today, were you?
No, I genuinely didn't know he was coming on. I didn't know he was coming on. I'd have got more ammo.
I've been wanting the pair of you on together, like from last year. I just try to get you together. As time went on, and obviously with the pandemic and everything, and there wasn't much football. We wanted to talk about your own individual careers, but the boys will tell you, I've been talking about this since Christmas. End of the season, let's get the best double act on. I said, let's get Banzo on TV. And I didn't even tell the boys till Thursday that I definitely got you both at the same time, because I was trying to get you, make sure you could both be available this morning.
Well, do you know what, Banzo? I reckon you could put an extra zero on the meal tickets for that testimonial done of if Stevie's going to be a guest speaker, because it's going to be priceless.
I know, listen,
especially if I've had a couple of beer.
Oh my God, I know.
You definitely made a good decision.
I'm in for a world of trouble, innit?
You made a good decision getting us two on, because if you get Dills and Squiddy, you'd have been in trouble. Squiddy will just be talking about doing PT and Dills will be talking about a coach. My God. How bad Squiddy on Instagram, by the way?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what, Chris Erskine, the stiffest PT known to man.
He's only there doing the hamstring exercises and that because his hammies popped off. He's got to stop putting things on his Instagram, like see asking questions and that. I'm constantly on him. Like it's getting to a point where I'm starting to think I've got a wee bit of a problem with him. Every post he puts up.
You were getting blocked.
I'm surprised I've not been, to be fair. He doesn't even reply to me anymore. It's just laughing faces I get now.
He was in pain his full career, so I don't know how he's telling people how to look after a body. I've no idea.
I've travelled in with Liverpool and we trained on that Astro, and like used to see the Nicky him try to get in and out the motor after training. Like, and he's got that stupid wee mini, I know, with his Squidworth on it. But he didn't drive it in the that right, but like he can't get in and out my motor. Like, how is he getting in and out of that thing? We used to do yoga on a Thursday, and I used to like, so that the what's it called? The instructor. We got it was a woman come in. She used to stand in the middle, right? And I used to, so we'd be like set up at the sides of each other, and I used to deliberately go beside him every single day, because like, see him try to do stretches. I had all the boys on his case. Every time he done a certain stretch, he couldn't get into the position, and I used to. It was the only reason I got to yoga, just to sit laugh at him. And he eventually moved to the physio and got whipped out of yoga just because I was laughing at him.
Yeah, what about some of the pictures of him taking a shot and that with his hands over there and his legs up high, and absolutely unbelievable.
Aye, that one I've got where his hands are way up in the air. I love it. Like, I use it every birthday and that. Like, his technique's embarrassing for a guy who's played football that long. Like, how do you hit a volley, right? And he's missed the ball, to be fair, and his hands straight up in the air like this, and his legs are pure. Squiddy tangled his legs like usual, and the guy's made a career out of football.
Oh, tell the Quiddy story quickly.
The Quiddy one.
Aye.
Oh, aye, mate. I've said it, I think.
Have you said that? Have you? Have you said
Aye. You get bought. I've told you something. You get bought for £1.
No.
Tell us again anyway.
No.
You not tell us that one.
Like, so what?
And mind when we had you on yourself for the interview, was this the one you were going to tell us, but your link with your friend?
Aye, so he's signed for. He was actually.
By the way, this is comedy gold, man. Honestly,
I think he was going to air, and like I was speaking to him about it, and I was like, I'll speak to. I basically got his move, so I've made this full story happen, which is amazing. So he's came to Livy, right, but because of the situation with Livy, Caldwell was obviously been after him, and they had to put it through as a fee, so it didn't look bad on Thistle. So like David Martindale was talking to me, and he's told me, right, and nobody else is there. He's like, I had to put it through as a fee, and I was like, but you had to buy him? He's like, aye. I was like, how much? He's like, £1. I was like, no chance. He's like, £1. So like, I've like, don't say it, tell him this, right? So I've said to Squiddy, right, do you know you get bought? He's like, aye, for £1. I was like, so obviously I've started calling him Big Quiddy.
Quiddy?
Quiddy. I call him all the time now, Big Quiddy. I've actually got to say to my phone is Big Quiddy. And like, see for like a month, 2 months, I was putting it in the chat, tell all the boys they get bought for £1. So Big Quiddy stuck at Livy for like a month and then vanished. But like I was sending him pictures of like I'd go out in the shop and like find like a wee packet of gold biscuits for £1, and I send it into the chat saying, what would you rather buy? And put in a picture of Quiddy and a picture of the biscuits all the time. And see, to be fair, I'm raging Big Quiddy never stuck. That is the best nickname in Scottish football.
Unbelievable, man.
Keep it doing adverts for Poundland, wouldn't they?
Everything I find for £1, I send them. see the other day, that was when he put in his story about the Scotland tap. He was going to go and buy a Scotland tap, but it's £72.
Aye.
I text him laughing faces, right? And he's like, I could buy 72 of me for that.
Tremendous.
Imagine getting bought for £1 and you can get called Quiddy. Like your nickname just lines up with it.
Incredible.
Listen,
By the way,
imagine selling him for £1. That's even more embarrassing than Caldwell.
I'm being serious, right? See if I'm sitting with a cup of tea, I'm buying the biscuits here, him. 100%. The gold biscuits are getting bought.
Oh God. Oh,
Like,
lads. That's pretty. I was going to
to
say
travel
it's
in
priceless, but what?
Aye. I used to travel in with us, like, and I used to just to throw pound down at his feet and that, say, what, pick your pal up, mate.
See, what was the one down at Dumbarton when he with Jackie McNamara and he told him the F off or something?
His arse went, like, he's like, told him, like, we were in a stinker, right, and he's no shot for the edge of the box, and Jackie's like, fucking hell, you better shooting it, and Scotty's turned around and done. He's like, just after the cuff, he's done, fuck off. But like, as soon as it's left his mouth, like every bit of bottle he had has vanished for his body, I know. So like, we're coming at half time, and like, I'm sitting right beside him, right? I went there just for this reason, to make him feel awkward, right? So I'm sitting here, he's sitting there, but he's sat directly behind a big pole in the dressing room. I don't know why it's there, right? Jackie's come in, he's like, where is he? And Scotty's like, hiding behind this pole, and he's like, he's like, sorry. Before he's even said anything to him, his arse is wet and he's shouting sorry. Embarrassing.
Yeah, we were all like that with me. Ready? And Monday in training. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Jackie, I never meant it.
Yeah, and Jackie ended up taking it with Dundee United, man. Unbelievable.
That's true.
Him and Pate's out of contract.
Oh, by the way, he absolutely crumbled into man. It was amazing.
Oh. You can see it as soon as it left his mouth, but he gets away with that all the time. Like, I don't know how he doesn't get booked, because see the amount of times like he'll scream, like the ref will make a decision, he'll just scream, "Fuck off, ref!" Like right at the ref. And nothing happens. Like I tell the ref to get his finger out and I get booked.
Listen, I could complain about Squiddy. I remember he seemed that quiet for the first couple of seasons. Then he went to Dundee United, and the first loan spell he was still fairly. See the second loan spell, you were actually going, "Who opened your mouth?" He was constantly, and we used to slag Banzo for it. Say, there we go, is Banzo get booked for the Saint again this week and stuff. Squiddy took over for you in that respect, didn't he? In the second spell, he was
angry. He was angry on the part, wasn't he? 100%. He just a switch went to him, and he just would go mental referees all the time. Don't know why.
Make a change for you getting booked for putting somebody in the hospital. To be fair.
Yeah, Stevie. Listen, I get booked. I think it was once all season, mate. I'm changed man.
Is that right?
Aye, changed man, mate.
Only
put in 2 tackles though.
Wait. Playing away against Hearts, right? He's on a booking, and the ball ricochets between me and him and another boy, and I'm shouting to him, "Don't do it!
Don't!"
He never done it right. I'm saying, "Don't do it," because he's on a booking. He's got to get sent off. He's not done it. I'm thinking, right, he's screwed it up. 2 seconds later, what's the day? Put somebody up in the air, boom,
I remember that. Big Aaron Taylor. Aye. Big Aaron Taylor Sinclair, man, gave me an absolute hospital ball in the middle of the park. And I just knew as soon as the ball rolled away from me, I'm in trouble here. Because as soon as I commit, this game's a bogey. And I just slid in and I knew straight away. And I turned round and Stevie just shook his head. He was like, "What are you doing, mate?"
Aye, he's walking off. He's walking off. My number goes up. Off you come.
Aye. Anytime.
He just walked off the park and I get a big curly finger.
Anytime there was a red card, Stevie was first sub. Unbelievable.
Mind we played Dunfermline, De Niro gets sent off after like 15 minutes.
Aye. In the cup,
off you come, Stevie, you're flying, it doesn't matter.
That was 2 weeks after the 5-1 game, wasn't it? We played them in the Scottish Cup.
Aye. I think we missed a penalty that day as well. He come back with 10 men, I think. I think Forbesy missed a penalty.
Aye,
I think, I remember correctly.
Well, Gal says he saved it.
Yeah,
mental.
You should have been on the penalties. You should have been on the penalties, Stevie.
I missed my last one, didn't I? It's always got to happen.
Nah, still a good record, but
aye. I thought you well, to be fair. You've had a couple of decent clean ones.
I know, then I get papped after them, but I get blamed for the relegation, missing a couple of penalties.
I tell you what, you'd have had that Queen of the South one back in the one that get taken off you. You'd have been his mind.
I'd probably missed it anyway.
Well, I mean, you that penalty when you mentioned Queen of the South, the last day of that season, the 3-0 game. That's some balls to do that.
Oh, no, I don't know. That's not. I was just happy. I think it wasn't that much because it was 2-0 at the time. It wasn't that. You know what I mean? If it was a closer game, then fair enough. But I think I was just happy to score. I think it was just relief that day, wasn't it? You could just tell a long season. We were pretty poor. And going down to the last day, we obviously didn't want that to happen. I think it was just relief.
I think it was the best of the season as well. We totally controlled that game. In a game that everybody was getting nervous about,
I just thought, you know what? If I score, I'll just jump in the crowd. And Stevie used to always say, when I scored a goal, I made it all about me. So I'm in the paper now.
He's got a cheek to talk about me. See that one that I stopped him hitting a shot off the keeper again when he squared it. I never celebrated with him. Like, I'll set him up a lot more than he set me up because, like I said, he gives me the ball to give it back. But I passed who was it against Motherwell? Put him through 1-1.
Remember there was a race down the side, mate, me and Vigers.
He's talking about it yesterday. He beat the slowest guy in the world at a race. And put it in right, but then he's ran away like, he runs like, he's ran about 50 yards to score, then he's ran away doing that. But runs right past everybody, does a lap of honour in the full pitch, sprinting. You chase him for like 20 minutes and you're like, no, 20 yards, you're like, sack that. And he just keeps going and going, that, all the way around the crowd.
There's a picture of Squiddy, man. Squiddy set me up. We played Dumbarton in the championship year. I think we won 3-0 and I scored. Squiddy's like dribbled by about 3 players and squared it to me, and I've just tapped in. And so I've scored, and Squiddy's got his arms out like as if come and hug me, and I've just run right by him. Right by him. So that I have my pictures in the paper. Unbelievable.
Listen, one last thing before we let you both go. You mentioned there the goal celebrations. What were they? Where did they come from? What were they about?
Oh, my one was just simple. One of my favourite films was Hook growing up, so that was mine, the Lost Boys. But Stevie's one, remember Stevie used to dance? Remember that horrible period they went through?
So that was just for, so that year I'd just come back from Magaluf, and I was sitting at the pool, all my mates, and there was a lifeguard sitting, and he was like, we're sitting at the pool, and he's like round the side. So like we've all been drinking, and this lifeguard's standing on the phone with his horn on the balcony, just shaking his arse. And you're like, look at this guy. He just kept doing it. He done it for like 5 minutes. So like just being drunk on holiday with your mate, we all just started doing it in the dancing. And we date anytime you seen that lifeguard, we would date to him just to bam him up. And then just be a stupid wee boy, I brought it in it again, didn't I? And basically get.
Yeah. You know what gets forgotten about that, Stevie? Sod came up behind you and tried to date an off, remember?
That's how I stopped doing it. That was the 5-1 game, the second goal.
Yeah.
He comes up and starts to do it, and I never done it after that again.
He just made it look so horrible. Big sod, man.
Listen, lads, it's Saturday afternoon. Football's going to be starting in a couple of hours. I dare say we'll probably be all watching the Euros today and nursing hangover. Well, I'm going to talk my hangover up, I think, this afternoon. I've got a few English that I haven't seen from last night who owe me money because I had the bench draw. So I'm collecting today. But listen, I can't thank you both enough. It's great to catch up with you both again, and to get the 2 years on, it's been brilliant. And I guarantee we'll do a Christmas special with the pair of yous again, because that'll be getting closer to Banzo. It's been fantastic. I really hope you have great. Well, both of you have a cracking season. Steve, I hope you get back in, you start playing, injury free. Banzo, I don't know how long you can milk that tight calf for, but hopefully you're back pre-season.
How long's pre-season left?
3 weeks.
Next week's the first game.
Next week?
3 weeks.
Next week's the first game, but it's 3 weeks till the real games.
So he'll not be back until 3 weeks. He's got a 3-week calf.
And on that note, once again, thanks to Donners and Alan Fraser, number 7 as well, for joining us. To Banzo and Stevie, thanks so much, lads. Good luck for the new season. We'll catch up throughout on here, as well as our usual WhatsApp and Messenger stuff. To everybody at home, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoy watching us as much as we enjoyed recording it with the boys. It's been fantastic fun. Hopefully Tuesday night Scotland do it. If they don't, well, the English couldn't beat us, so it's not all bad news, eh? Money Jags and money Scotland.
Thank you guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Anytime.